You all made it here today, fully clothed and probably with a phone in your pocket, I bet. Well, have you ever thought about what your purchases really do? And I don't mean just to your pocket, but what happens to the consumer, or to the environment for that matter. In the article entitled Richer, Fatter, and Not Much Happier from the World Watch Institution says that private consumption has reached more than $20 trillion. The 12% of the world's people living in North America and Western Europe account for more than 60% of this consumption, while the one-third living in Africa and South Asia account for less than 4%. The richest 20% of the world account for 86% of total private consumption. The poorest 20% account for only 1.3%. That's more spending than what you may realize. In our world today, people are constantly spending money on things that are designed to break, make them feel inadequate, deplete natural resources, and pollute the environment. We have been given this earth that has been placed in this specific spot to sustain life. This life must learn how to live within the confines of its home, or who knows what could happen. As it stands now, we are depleting these natural resources and not taking the necessary means to replace them. Annie Leonard, in her documentary entitled The Story of Stuff, says, "We're running out of resources. We're using too much stuff. In the past 3 decades alone, 1/3 of the planet's natural resource base has been consumed. We are cutting and mining and hauling and trashing the place so fast that we're undermining the planet's very ability for people to live here." Dr. Thomas Henningsen, Director of International Campaigns of Greenpeace in Germany, in the documentary The Secret Life of Paper, says that every second we are losing the size of a soccer field of trees. Then, Catherine Jane Pope, in her article entitled Consumerism Revealed, says that deforestation has caused a significant loss in trees and soil, which has led to soil degradation. This has caused people to go hungry because of the lack of healthy soil. Even 40% of the waterways have become undrinkable. Wetlands and other natural places are shrinking to make way for people in their homes, farms, malls, and factories. An estimated 75% of global fish stocks are now fished at or beyond their sustainable limits. And even though technology allows for 30% of world energy use and 95% of global oil consumption. And our problem is not just that we're using too much stuff, but we're using more than our share. If we continue to demand and use more than what the earth can support, we will eventually use up all the available land and resources, especially drinking water. Diverse ecosystems will continue to lose species, which will negatively impact our world. So what happens when all the stuff you're using, when it stops working? Of course, our first instinct is to throw it out with the garbage. Annie Leonard has also found that, on average, each person in the United States makes up 4.5 pounds of garbage every day. This garbage ends up in landfills, a big hole in the ground, or it gets burned, which is even worse. These methods of disposal are what result in polluting not only the land, but the air and the water, which may contribute to that horrible thing that nobody ever wants to talk about, global warming. The fact that both of these methods of disposal are really bad for Earth is that when these goods are being produced with over 100,000 synthetic chemicals. So, when these materials are buried or burned, those toxins are released into the air and leaks into the groundwater. So when these landfills or incinerators can no longer support such a high demand of trash, it gets tossed out into the ocean, which is creating even more problems. We have created what is now called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. National Geographic defines this as a collection of debris that has somehow made it into the ocean and is located in the North Pacific Ocean between Japan and the United States of California and Hawaii. The majority of this garbage that can be found in this patch is plastic. This is because of two reasons. One, plastic's durability, low cost, and malleability means that it's being used more and more as consumer products. And two, it is not biodegradable and instead breaks into smaller and smaller pieces. Since these pieces of plastic do not degrade, but only get smaller, this can cause even more issues with marine life. These marine animals often mistake the plastic for food and end up ingesting it, which can lead to death, starvation, or even ruptured organs. Also, larger plastic objects like plastic fishing nets entangle seals and other marine animals and cause them to drown. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch also impacts the marine's food web. This plastic blocks out the sun from autotrophs like algae and plankton, which are the basis of the food web. If they cannot survive, the next animal will run out of its food source. Also, when larger fish, like tuna, eat this plastic, and are then harvested for human ingestion, all those toxins from the plastic are absorbed through the fish and then have the possibility of entering our own system and can contaminate us. So knowing that these things we buy are having such an impact on our environment, why do we keep doing it? Some of these causes as to why people are spending so much money on these goods has been speculated to be because people have this feeling of inadequacy and producers actually design things to break. Every day, each of us in the U.S. is targeted with more than 3,000 advertisements a day. We see more advertisements in 1 year than people 50 years ago saw in their entire lifetime. And if you think about it, what is the point of an ad except to make us unhappy with what we have? So 30,000 times a day, we're told that our hair is wrong, our skin is wrong, our clothes are wrong, our furniture is wrong, our cars are wrong, and we are wrong, but we can make it alright if we just go out and shop. So, in the U.S., we have more stuff than ever before, but polls show that our national happiness is actually declining. Our national happiness peaked around sometime in the 1950s, the same time that consumption mania exploded. Interesting coincidence. I think I know why. We have more stuff, but are less time for the things that we actually make us happy. Family, friends, and leisure time. We're working harder than ever. So we are in this ridiculous situation of where we go to work, maybe 2 jobs even, and we go home and we're exhausted, so we plop down on our new couch and watch our new television, and the commercials tell us, you suck. So we gotta go to the mall and buy something to feel better. Then we gotta go to work and pay for the stuff that we just bought so we can come home and we're more tired. And so you sit down and watch more TV, and it tells you to go to the mall again, and we're on this crazy work, watch, spend treadmill, and we just need to stop. And if this isn't enough, the stuff we worked crazy hard to buy ends up breaking prematurely. Has it ever happened to you where you bought an expensive appliance, a piece of technology, and you've had it for about a year or two, and it breaks down days after your warranty just expired? So now you're forced to go buy a brand new replacement. Designers have developed this term, planned obsolescence, which is another word for design for the dump. It means they actually make stuff that is designed to be useless as quickly as possible, so we'll chuck it and go buy a new one. It's obvious with stuff like plastic bags, plastic cups, but even now it's getting to bigger items like mops, TVs, cameras, barbecues even. These designers are so open about it too. They're planned obsolescence. And they actually discuss how fast they can make stuff break and still leave the consumer with enough faith in the product to go buy another one. It is intentional. If we are doomed to have things that we buy break, what can we do to not only stop this, but to save our environment as well? Well, there's a plethora of things that you can do. Facing the Future, an online global sustainability curriculum, offers a ton of take action projects, not only in the U.S., but worldwide, as well as including planting trees, bringing clean water to those who don't have it, and even taking a pledge to change your lifestyle to reduce your environmental impact. There are also more alternative resources that you might not think of. Dr. Thomas Henningsen says that the most promising alternative fibers for paper include cotton, hesperaloe, flax, and hemp. Hemp breathes in 4 times the carbon dioxide of trees during its quick 12 to 14-week growing cycle. Trees take 20 years to mature versus 4 months for industrial hemp. 1 acre of hemp also produces as much cellulose fiber pulp as 4.1 acres of trees. Beyond this, of course, everyone has heard of the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Now, recycling is a great place to start. Instead of using more resources, we can just use what we already have. Now, instead, Dr. Daniel N. Brooker, a media relations officer at Grand Central Terminal, instituted a newspaper recycling center and found that with this idea, they were recycling over 5 tons of newspapers a day. Recycling helps immensely, but it isn't enough on its own. The next one, reuse, is actually easier than you might think. Instead of throwing away the empty Cool container you just used for that dessert, use it as a salad bowl. Or even plastic picnic plates, cups, forks don't have to be thrown away after 1 use. Even printing double-sided on a piece of paper will help. Trying to figure out how to reuse something old and turn it into something new is wonderful and can be a fun challenge. Finally, we need to reduce our ecological footprint. Scientists and explorers agree that limiting or eliminating our use of disposable plastics and increasing our use of biodegradable resources will be the best way to clean up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. We can also reduce our paper uses by completing bills and other payments online instead of through the mail or in store. In an article entitled The Effects of Mass Production and Consumerism, a Gandhian approach by Ashok states that Gandhi said that the mind is like a restless bird. The more it gets, the more it wants, and still it remains unsatisfied. The more we indulge our passions, the more unbridled we become. Gandhi's solution to this problem is to voluntarily reduce our wants to a genuine level. So what we really need to do is check the old school way mindset and think of sustainability and accountability in our world. All of these issues that are arising in our society today, pollution, depletion, self-inadequacy, are centered on consumerism. It is hard to just completely stop all spending on material items, I understand. I'm not asking you to stop spending money, just to stop and think what you're spending money on and the effect it has on our environment. Consumers have more power than what they realize in this world. Let's use these alternative methods and try to reduce our footprint on the earth. So just don't think of the cost of something as being a financial value, but also of the cost we take on our environment. If the majority of people band together and try to make change, maybe we can stop pollution and feel happier and save our world. Thank you.